go. We are live.
We're live. All right.
Oh, no,
Thank you,
I
Damo.
don't think that's an old one. That's an old one. Don't know what that is.
Yeah, it doesn't tell me yet. Oh, yep. Here we go. We're live. Just got the old notification. Happy days. Wonder if I get as many comments as you do today. I feel like my phone just gives me donuts. Share this video with friends. Let's see if it's easy.
Yeah. Sure.
Here we go. A birthday with a zero. A birthday with a zero. What does it mean?
Ravs and Helen. There we go.
Oh, that's so good.
With
that's so good.
I'm feeling for Ravs. I'm going to call Ravs when I'm in the car. It's stuff going on, isn't there, Ravs?
Not happy.
Not happy.
All right. A birthday with a zero. What does it mean? Birthday with a zero. What does it mean? All right. What does it mean? All right, we ready to rock?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Hi, Helen. Hi, Julie. Hey, Ravs. Here we go. Ready to rock.
If you're here, I'm sharing it with all these groups. I didn't realise I was part of so many groups. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
There we go.
So good, isn't it?
Wellness Breakthrough. Who knew I was part of a Wellness Breakthrough group? There we go. Unbelievable.
That's so good.
Yep. G'day,
From
Summer.
2014.
Jules, Jules and Helen Ravs. Woo, how exciting. Audience
all
already
right,
there.
the numbers are climbing.
Here we go.
Numbers
must
are
be a
climbing.
better time.
Right.
1 o'clock must be a better time than 3 o'clock.
Here we go. All right. In 3, 2, and 1. Hello and welcome to 100 Not Out, a weekly show dedicated to helping you master the art of aging well. Marcus Pearce here with you, and boy, oh boy, am I pumped. It's the man who really got this podcast underway because of a significant life moment. He is Australia's number one wellness expert. He's Australasia's, Oceania's. He's actually the world's number one wellness expert. My brother from another mother. The entire world loves him. I'm talking of Dr. Damien Christoph. Hello, great man.
Thank you, Piercy. Thank you so much for a great introduction. It's, when someone blows steam or smoke up you enough, you start to not believe them. Anyway, thank you.
Well,
thank you very much. It's great. I
can't lie. I can't lie unless I'm surprising someone, and then I can lie through my teeth.
Really?
But
that surprises me.
There's no one else in the world.
That you can't lie.
I can only lie when I'm doing it for a good cause.
Yeah, fair enough.
Margaret Martin says, so good to see you live. If only it was in the flesh, Margaret Martin.
I know. I'd love to see you again, Margaret. And Pratesh has joined us too. It's great. It was a great audience. I think this 1 o'clock time slot's a good spot. A lot of people on lunch. So maybe, Piercy,
this is a new thing.
We look to make this a 1 o'clock session.
Gee whiz, the numbers are climbing, starting to go viral. Now, Pratesh does have an unanswered question in our 100 Not Out inbox.
Yes,
and Pratesh, we will get there.
Yeah.
But we also invite all of our listeners, if you want us to discuss a certain topic on the podcast, just direct message us. It's easiest to do it that way on Facebook at 100 Not Out. Just spell it out. On Instagram at 100.notout. And ask us any questions you like. And if we think we can turn it into an episode, we absolutely will, because we know there's a lot of questions out there, particularly at times like this.
If we do turn it into an episode, we will give you a gift that we get. We get gifts from submitting questions to Before the Dip. So when they give us their gift, we'll give it to you. That's what we'll do. Yeah.
That's cool. I just, Trudy Petter just says, looking very Grease Lightning, Marcus. Well,
he is. Kaniki, very Kaniki.
Oh, right Kaniki, not Danny Zuko. Very Kaniki. That's okay. Well, I'll take Kaniki.
Yeah,
I don't have the same hair as Kaniki, but yeah, is it the jacket?
Do you have the same hair as Danny Zuko?
No, nowhere near as long and... No, but I did say today, I am wearing a jacket because I do have the chills and they are multiplying. I have said that to a couple of people already, and I'm going to have a rest after this podcast because my adrenals are cooked.
They are.
I need a rest.
Yeah, you are.
And I wonder, Damo, as my great Auntie Kate said this morning.
How good's Auntie Kate? Gee, we love Auntie Kate.
She's an angel.
Yeah.
She's an angel. Now, I want to talk to you about this today because as you know, I am 40 on Monday, and we started this podcast when you were 39.
Yep.
And Auntie Kate, in the deep and meaningful chat that we were having this morning, when I told her I was feeling a bit chilly, was she's like, well, think of what you were doing 40 years ago. You were coming or preparing to come down that birth canal, you magnificent being. She was getting all inspirational and she was going all back to the DNA of my little body, that little chubby, almost to be born body.
I love it.
But what I really thought would be a great chat today is to talk about the significance or not of a birthday with a zero. Do we overbake it? It was a real big thing, I think, for you saying yes to accepting my invitation to join 100 Not Out, because you told me very clearly that you were having you were thinking about this fact that you were 39 turning 40, and that kind of led you to be very happy to explore this conversation of longevity, which we started 8 years ago. But how do you feel all those years later around birthdays with a zero? What's your view on it?
I reckon I dumped it. I reckon I dumped all of the emotion around it. I definitely, turning 29 or from 29 to 30 was that was a strange time because I didn't really want to leave my 20s, but leaving my 30s felt like a bigger deal. But leaving my 40s, because I'm getting closer to that now, I'm not that worried about it, to be honest with you. But I was talking to a mate of mine who I play golf with. I often do this. And today, and on Monday, I played golf with him as well. And I said to him, you got to listen to the podcast. He goes, yeah, I've been meaning to. What's a great episode? I said, why don't you listen to the coffee one? So he listens to the coffee one. And he said to me this morning, I ate food first for breakfast. I didn't drink my coffee, tried to get to 90 minutes. He said, my girlfriend's been telling me that for ages. I haven't been doing it. And he said to me, you've done a lot of episodes. What are the great ones? And I said, they're all great, but the ones where we learnt more about people as they aged and how they aged successfully are the great ones. And then he said, and then we're chatting, back in the clubhouse later on. He said, so, what is it about the podcast that keeps you going? And I said, well, we keep on learning. And the more we keep on learning, so we got to 100 and we thought, let's keep on going because we keep on learning. Let's get to 200 and we kept on going because we kept on learning. 300, 400, we'll approach 450 and we'll keep on learning. And this last 8 years for me has been such an acceleration of learning that it's reshaped, molded my perception around aging and longevity and birthdays. I feel younger now than what I felt when I was 40 or turning 40, and I think that's to do with perspective. Given that I really seriously feel like, I'll make 100 and something, and that I feel like I'm not even halfway at this point in time, So I feel that way. That's how I feel. Piercy.
I love that. So from my listening to you there, it's almost like a birthday with a zero provides depending on your view about it, like a healthy source of intensity to kind of like, it's almost like grab life by the balls even more. It's kind of like live with more, what's the word I'm looking for? Not gumption, but enthusiasm, or like you're very committed in your life. Like that's what I've observed, particularly over the last 8 years. Like, you don't just have a leisurely hit of golf. Like you're committed to it, not just because of the golf, but it's invested in your social life and it allows you that recharge from your work life, and you're very committed in your marriage and you're very committed in your relationship with Jackson. Yeah. Like it seems to me, and look, you might argue that you've always been that way, but maybe what Pratesh said, like you seem to live with more attention. You seem to be very attentive, even though, like everyone, we can all get a bit distracted at times.
For sure. Shiny objects, yeah.
But yeah. You definitely feel, it seems to me like in the time that I've known you, like what we've learned in 100 Not Out has had the impact where you are more finite in what you're prepared to give attention to.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Or maybe, for sure. Finite being a good word, but also infinite in my thinking. So, but I've learned a lot of that from you, Piercy. So, in your junior, because you're nearly 10 years my junior, your wisdom is unbelievable. So you've expanded my ability to see more. I kind of, I've gone from there back to fish eyes, like I can see more stuff, which is kind of cool. So thank you. But if we do reflect on this, we go back 8 years ago or 8+ years ago to when I was turning 40, and I was a little bit scared. I was like, what happens now? Yes, I've got to go for my prostate exam. Yes, I've got to go get a PSA test. Yes, I'm going to go and do, but what happens when you turn to 40? Does everything fall to shit? And it hasn't for me, but how are you feeling about turning 40? on Monday?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm one to be excited. Again, I'm a bit of a not a bit of a Leo. I'm a raging Leo, so I love birthdays and I love the celebration of birth. I had 4 children, so I definitely love all things birth.
And
So
lots of children. Are
lots
you
of
saying there's
children.
more children on the way? Is that what you're saying?
No. Very, very happy to say that retired from that one. But I definitely love birthdays. But I am one of those birthday people that, like, to be truthful, like I am struggling with it at the moment, given that, and a lot of people have this story, so it's not a sad poor old me story. But I had my whole family coming up from my mum and my sisters and their husbands and their children all coming up. We haven't met my sister George's child yet, and a lot of cousins haven't really met each other yet. So this birthday does seem to be tinged with a bit more of what was to be and what won't be. I said to someone the other day, I'd prefer my birthday this year to be on January 27.
Yeah.
So I felt a bit more confident that we could have that. It's a bit
or
of
February 29.
Yeah, but I think that's also the maturity of where I'm at in life, where I have to. My position at the moment is I really need to learn to better deal with elements which aren't in my control. Like I am having a bit of a pity party at the moment, and some people have just copped my frustration that as an extrovert, I want to see people on my birthday. I don't want 10 people. I want 40 people. Like I had visions for 3 birthdays. Just family, and then just a core group of friends that see the world in the same way, and then just a big kind of barbecue or European picnic type thing where it was just a free for all. Like I really wanted to celebrate life, and I do feel a bit, I feel like I can't go north, I can't go south, I can't go east, and I can go west, but it feels a bit constricted. And I know that's not a 40 thing, that's just a 2021 thing. So I'll be happy to even know what you would say about that, because I haven't actually spoken to you specifically about this. But for me at the moment, it doesn't feel like 40 I would say normally would. I don't know if that's even right, because I'm probably a bit consumed by what I was thinking we'd be doing, to what I'm not even sure what I am doing. Sarah's the wonderful surpriser, but to what I will be doing. That's probably the challenge I'm having at the minute.
Well, it's fair enough to have that challenge too, and so having been through, almost pretty much the better part of half a year of lockdowns here in Victoria. It's easy to fall into that space of, what could have been, or where we would be if we didn't have this. But I tell you what, there's a lot of reflection to be done on what other people actually really don't have as a result of this situation. People not able to leave the country to go to their mother's bedside when they're passing away. And so we can always play this, and you and I talk about this all the time. We can't. It's not our fault that we're in the situation that we're in. So these are the blessings, and these are the things that. What's the opposite to a blessing? Whatever that is. So.
What, the curse?
The curse, yeah, it would be. Yeah, these are the blessings. Yeah. These are the curses that we are dealt by living here in Australia. There's pros and cons with that, right? So we can't help other people's situations, and at the same time, we can also reflect on all the great things that we do actually have. But I know that when we come to the party and we talk about the party part of your birthday, that's interesting. But we can't do much. We can't do anything about it, and that's a bugger. But how are you actually feeling about turning 40? Like, not the birthday party. How are you feeling about the number 40? Like, what's going through your mind and body at the moment? Do you feel like your body's holding up? Do you feel like...
Oh, yeah, sorry. I probably didn't answer that. But yeah,
totally. Like this is your decade to take over the world, like get your book out there and sell 1 million copies, be on Oprah. Like where do you think you're going? What's happening?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I definitely have a great level of enthusiasm for the future. Like I do feel like, I don't know if it's one of those things, things that you remember in your life that just seem to stick with you. I do feel like I have a memory of reading somewhere in a book, or maybe it's a 7 Cycles of 7 or somewhere, that your 40s are very productive years. Like you've learnt, well, ideally you've learnt a lot in your life. You've made a lot of mistakes. You've learnt from them.
Yeah.
And you begin to get a bit more mojo in how to live, you know, what you're willing to stand for, what you're willing to let go to the keeper, the battles that you're prepared to pick. So I kind of feel like I look forward to that maturity, for want of a better term. Like I've always felt like I've always had friends I've always connected more with people that are older than me. And I love that. Like because I feel like it almost allows me to learn a bit quicker because I'm learning and I'm very open to learning about how to live from people that have lived.
You are a great learner. You're a great learner, actually. I have to say that. It's a compliment. You actually learn incredibly well. You retain information, you retain knowledge. Well, you retain information and convert it to knowledge better than most people I know. It's an incredible strength of yours. And you interpret it. But you interpret the data really well too. So you've got a very great way that you interpret data.
But I think, you know, to think about your question a bit more, I feel like that when you get to birthdays with a 0, and it might be different at different zeros, but, you know, you look at your peer group. Like I definitely know that it's a lot easier to learn effectively from people that I love and admire.
Sure.
So people like yourself, and I thank you for the compliment, but it's so great. Like you're so honest with me about your life that it's almost like you're a mentor, as well as a friend. So you're very happy. Happy is not the right word, but you are very open to sharing with me challenges in your life that almost allows me to then learn from them, if that makes sense. And not like that it was a bad thing that it happened in your life, but it's more like, you know, particularly some things around business. Like I always remember you talking about how you've just done so many free talks in your life, but you were just done with free talks, and you were you're very good at sharing with me. Like, Marcus, I've done way too many free talks, and it creates a lot of, even in chiropractic practice with just, you know, when you're helping, But so those types of things, I think your peer group, if your peer group is happy to share with you those certain lessons in life, you reach these zeros and you feel like you've got a pathway to progress quite well through them. And it's almost like, because particularly peer group and family, and I do work that I love, it's almost like I just want this to continue. So I think that's a really big part of it. 0 birthday, it's almost like an automatic audit, and people start to question where they're at in life. And I feel like in my life, I'm very fortunate that at 40, I can say that, you know, I've got a lot of big ticks, big rocks that I'm ticking the box in a way that makes me feel very happy to be 40 and in the space of life that I'm in. But physically, I definitely am not the. Yeah, I've definitely found that as a big lesson.
What do you mean physically?
I'm beginning to learn. I've learned that, you know, the importance of rehab, the importance that we live longer than we ever had.
Yeah.
Many of us in our old days, you know, we died at 35 if we were hunter-gatherers, like in the prime of life type thing, or maybe just as we were losing a pace and the tiger could catch us.
Yeah.
But I feel like now I'm beginning to learn the hard way, just with certain symptoms, that I must commit more to movement and more rehab type movement.
Yeah.
Was it you that put me onto? Yeah, stretching, like definitely. Was it you that put me onto or recommended Ted Lasso?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, so I have now. I have an exercise bike in the garage.
Yeah.
And I have been consuming Ted Lasso, like half an hour episodes, and doing half an hour of movement.
Yeah.
And I've found lately that I've been doing sometimes 2 of them a day, or maybe an hour and a half on the bike.
Yeah.
And that was something like I've gone, okay, combine movement with a bit of TV, because I don't watch a lot of TV.
Yeah.
But combining it, I'm like, okay, well, this is the kind of stuff I want to do in my 40s. Like, don't go, don't have time to do the rehab or whatever. Just find ways to make it fun.
Yeah.
And I have felt so much better as a result of that, particularly that aerobic workout.
Yeah.
But I do think it's they're the adjustments that I feel like 40 is teaching me at the moment. Like, you can't be complacent like you could in your 20s around your quality of your health and so on.
There's a few things that I reflect on, and, you know, as you talk about that, and obviously Ted Lasso, there's some great lessons to be learnt in Ted Lasso, or just to reflect on. Like, it's just such a great show. It's well put together. But there's another show that we've started watching recently as well, called Virgin River, and I think they're up to the third season of that. But there's some interesting things that I've learned over the last 8 years with you, that when I watch a show like that, and it highlights the way in which people deal with stuff.
Yes.
I think that it's an unhealthy way to be. So, for example, when something's happened in your life, but you don't talk about it and you prefer to keep it to yourself, there's no healing in that. That's just, I'm just going to keep on punching myself in the face and hopefully no one sees the blood. Like, that's kind of what that is. Like, when you don't share and speak about your experiences, you never complete the experience. And so you only ever just kind of, it stays in your mind, it stays in your brain, and you continue to contribute to that experience through the mayo that you put on there, or the icing sugar, or the sprinkles, whatever you put on that story is what happens. But when you speak about that experience, it's out. Like you've put a full stop on it. So I look at the way Ted Lasso looks at life. It's very, very much like you, like half glass, 3/4 full.
Very full.
Very 3/4 full.
Finds it hard to be negative.
Even when the glass is filling up and overflowing, it's still not enough in the glass. It's just unbelievable because life is so good for you. I love that. And so I see a lot of the characteristics of Ted Lasso in you, in that positivity and optimism. And then I look at this Virgin River thing where they keep lots of secrets and don't like to share stuff, and people are hiding things. And I think, oh my gosh, like it's an environment that's not fruitful. And so when I then apply that to the things that you just talk about, where I'm very happy and open to share with you, I think that that's because of what I've learned through the years, in that I need to communicate what it is that I'm experiencing or have experienced. So Amber might say to me, loose lips sink ships. But for me, it's more about, I need to speak about stuff for guidance, for counsel, for completion. Like when I get stuff off my chest, when I get a chance to speak about it, it completes it. It's good for me. But that stuff gets highlighted to me when I'm watching other things or watching other people experience. And in a script, in a TV show, that's how I experience that. But I love that you're watching Ted Lasso on the bike.
I'm all finished. I'm finished it now. I'm waiting for the Friday or Thursday for the new episode to come out.
Yeah, nice.
So,
nice.
And I know what Amber's saying, and I think that's very relevant often in a business setting when certain things do not need to be shared as a cascading message.
For sure.
But I love that our conversations, particularly when, we've been a bit flat, like you're very good. I think I said to someone the other day, like I was just having for want of a better term, just a rough time. And I think you're one of the only people I know that actually says to me, like, are you okay? Like, or you sound a bit flat. Like it's really only you and Sarah, I feel like. I was saying to someone yesterday when I was quite angry about something, I said, I feel like because I wrote a book called Your Exceptional Life, everyone thinks that my life is always exceptional and no one needs to ask how I'm going.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is a big 40. It's not a big 40 thing, but for me, it's definitely a theme at the moment. I treasure our conversations. I treasure my conversations with Sarah. And sometimes I wonder, well, do I need to work harder on sharing the glass? I feel like in the last 10 years, I've done a great job at not always seeing the world as glass 3/4 full. I'm now a lot better at seeing some of the half empty and the half full. But I also feel like I need to do a better job at inviting others to feel like I'm not going to bite their head off or lie if they ask me how you're going and I say, I'm a bit flat. And then, not that we want to fix it. We just want someone to kind of hear it and talk it out. And I think that's really quite that's kind of a moment right now. It's like, okay, there's a mixture of me sharing more, I suppose, but also bringing people in my life that feel comfortable to ask me without fear or favor, how I am. That seems to be quite a thing at the minute.
It's interesting. You'll be very reflective. I recall your feelings right now in me almost the same amount of time ago. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of reflection, and I think 40 is a number that, regardless of how you view it, whether you see it as an opportunity, whether you see it as over the hill, whatever, there's a lot of reflection done at 40. For most people, they feel like that's about halfway through their life, and they kind of go, well, what have I ticked off? What have I done? Most people would be happy if they got to 80. So they kind of go, what am I going to do for the next 40 years, and how much longer is my body going to hold up? Do I just go to sleep when I turn 80 and I don't wake up the next day? So there's those sorts of things that kind of will flow through people's minds, but this decade for you, PC, I can't wait to see how you pull it off. It's going to be unbelievable. And I think that we will be probably up to episode 990 something by the time you turn 50. So I'm pretty excited about that too. So I am excited.
Yours might be about 550 for Damo's 50th. I wonder what episode it'll be.
We should count that back. We'll count that back. Have a look at that.
Yeah, but it is. I've loved this conversation as well, and there's a lot of love and chat coming through the Facebook Live. Again, if you're not on there, it's at 100 Not Out. Spell it all out on Facebook. But I do love this, and as I said, I feel like even though we've got people listening, I feel like this is a chat with you and I. It's a type of chat I dearly treasure. As a birthday with a zero approaches. I feel like this conversation has stimulated a bit of reflection. That I look forward to enjoying over the next week or so.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to speak to you on your birthday. Obviously, I won't be there because our premiers won't let us travel, but I am excited to be speaking with you on Monday, Piercy.
Yeah, no, I can't wait.
Everybody, Piercy turns 40 today as this podcast goes out. Yes, this will go out on your 40th birthday. And for those of you on Facebook watching this live, it's Piercy's birthday on Monday. Send him lots of love on Monday because he's a Leo and he loves being the center of attention. So, and he needs it. And he needs it right now.
I am missing my in real life connection. So whatever you can do, folks.
Yeah, send him a message.
Ham it up.
Yep, send him a message. Don't write a message. Do a video message. That will make Piercy's a decade.
Yep.
Like, send him a video message.
Yep, love it.
I would love to see, hey Marcus, it's Julie Hill here. I hope you have a great day. I'd love that. Hey Marcus, it's Cecilia Ballesteros here. It's been a long time since I caught up with you. I love that you're turning 40. Wish you all the very best. I'd love to say, hey Marcus, happy 40th birthday. It's Vicky Stanford here. I hope you're really great. That's what I want to see. And one from you too, Summer. I want to see that. Send it through. Ravs, Helen.
Oh, no pressure on our listeners, Damo.
Margaret
That's
Martin,
intense.
Larry. My dad was there today. Did you see Larry was on there today? And so I want to see all of that. Everybody, please.
Well, I'm eternally grateful for everyone listening right now. I'm sure I've had a wonderful day, and I appreciate all the love. I appreciate this chat, Damo. Julie Hill says, okay, challenge accepted. Same with Seth. All righty. Just send me a DM. There you go. That's the way to do it these days. No. Or a text if you got my number. Damo, thanks for the love, legend. As I said, it's your reflection around 40 that really stimulated the challenge accepted that you dove right into back in 2013. And on behalf of all of our listeners, we thank you for doing it. And I look forward to knowing what it's like to be 40.
Yeah.
And for us to be in our 40s together.
Yes.
Haven't had that. We had our 30s together for a year or two.
Oh, no, for longer than that because we knew each other in the show, but we knew each other for longer than that. We've known each other for ages. We've known each other forever, Piercy.
I'm trying to think, was it 2010, 9? Anyway, happy times to all of our listeners. We thank you for your support of the podcast. You can find out more about the great man at DamienChristoff.com. That's Damien with an A. Myself, MarcusPearce.com.au. And until next week, as always, continue to make the rest of your life the best of your life.
Bye for now.
That was good.
Yes, thank you. Everybody's still there in Facebook land. I hope you are.
Margaret Martin, wishing you happiness on your 4th.
Yes, she's an optimist too. Yeah,
that's so good.
Yeah,
that's so good.
That.
40 was 25 years ago for me. The best is yet to come. Thank you, Debbie.
Nice, Deb.
Yes,
good
I
wisdom.
Can't wait for the next 40. I was going to say actually, Damo, that you were talking about it. 40 is a checkpoint for a lot of people because they kind of see it as halfway through. Well, I think that's still relevant and current for a lot of people because life expectancy is 82.3
there it is.
In Australia, and quality of life statistically begins to descend for people at 72. So statistically, most people they're on the downhill of quality years remaining, and statistically, it's going to go pear-shaped, in 32 years for many Australians.
Yeah.
So it is a bit of a, I think it's a really good, I think it was said earlier, it's a great audit to go, am I on the path to being a different statistic, being the one that carries on.
Well, Mike, my mate today at golf, said to me, Damo, do you judge people for the food they eat? So we're sitting there, I ordered a Moroccan carrot soup, entree size, and he said, and he ordered the burger with chips, and he said, do you judge people when you see what they eat? I said, no, mate, I used to, but I don't anymore. And he said, what do you mean? And I said, well, I used to be on a TV show, and I would tell people what they needed to eat, and then when I was out in the public, people would come up to me and say, oh, should you be eating that, don't downsize me, Damo. I wouldn't go and buy ice cream, which is my favourite thing on the planet. My second favourite thing is chocolate, and I wouldn't go and buy those things because I didn't, for fear of that judgment. And so, that judgment piece for me was one of those things that I learnt that I didn't want to do. I didn't want to do. But he said, what, how did you get to that? And I said, well, when we were talking to all these people, these centenarians, we were talking about the stuff that kept them alive, and it wasn't nutrition. And so, making sure that we acknowledge that whilst nutrition's important, it's not the only thing.
That's a great episode, Food and Judgment. I think that would be really good.
Yeah.
That would be really, really good.
We'll do that for you, Mike, for sure. Sure. But Piercy, well I will just say that Summer has asked if we're doing another rep. We're not, because Marcus is feeling poorly today.
I've got chills. I've got chills. They're multiplying.
He's losing,
and I'm losing control.
Yeah. The power we're supplying, it's electrifying.
It's electrifying.
Yeah.
Oh, gee whiz. I think we're getting funnier.
You've got to wake up.
A bit older.
Yeah. Got to wake up.
All right.
Yeah.
I better. No, I need to go to sleep.
Because you need a man. All right.
Oh, dear.
See you,
You're
mate.
my man, Damo. You're my man. All right. See you, Facebook.
See you later, Facebook. Thanks for joining us. See you later.
Bye.